Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Heart Astrology Podcast. We are on episode number 9. This is Adriana.
Caitlin here.
I'm based in the UK, and Caitlin is based in the United States. We are joined again here to talk about some important astrological alignments coming up with a lot of galactic astrology happening in the cosmos here. So today we're going to be discussing this Capricorn full moon. It's happening July 21st, and it's making a trine over to Mars, which is conjunct the Pleiades. We're also going to be going over the 12 signs and the horoscopes. So stay tuned for that to listen in to your sun, moon, and rising sign reading. Before we get into this, Caitlin is going to actually talk about what it means to be a starseed.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So the question is, are you a starseed? Well, a lot of people say, I don't know what it is. So here's a little definition that my guidance team has given me. I'm going to read it slowly. It's a little bit technical, but I feel it's a very good definition. So a starseed is a highly evolved light body astral being with many multidimensional soul aspects, experiencing many incarnations in other higher vibrational dimensions and densities. Through living in many fixed star connections, a star seed becomes awake and aware that they are a seed of source, willing to plant their soul star aspects into a dense and formed incarnation as a third dimensional human being to explore their earthly love body. So it's pretty intense. But this is who we are. This is who we are.
I love that definition too.
Yeah,
Just
I do too.
mhm.
Light body is to me are parts of us that's very causal. The idea energies of the causal fields, non-physical. Love body is when we're in form. And this is something so special. We talk so much about the stars and everything off in the cosmos, but Earth is also part of the cosmos, and it's a wonderful experience to be a blend of star and stone. To me, that's what the love body is. And then we can experience love. It's experiential. It's not something we just think about. It's something we experience fully, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So each one of us hosts a colorful galactic ancestry, which can be figured out through our astrology alignments, and they can be decoded through determining our astrology natal chart degreed connections. And these are to the fixed stars and the constellations. So Adriana and I are both certified quantum soul guidance practitioners of galactic astrology. And we're both available to provide our services to help you learn more about your galactic heritage. You can contact us at our email addresses to get more information and find out, what we're offering and how we can help you.
Yeah, those are down in the description if you want to check that out.
So, who are the Pleiadian star seeds? They are the star of our show today, and they really are the heroes today, too. You might have seen my video, The Pleiades Big Love, and if you haven't, check it out. I share all about my Pleiadian guides, I call the Ps, and they always tell me that they take things less serious. Get it? SIRIUS, serious. They love to joke. They have such a sense of humor. When I'm too serious, they always come in and cheer me up and get me off that serious disease. So, but I do have several Pleiadian starseed connections in my own chart, and I wanted to just share some of the characteristics. So again, the Pleiadians, they love to play, absolutely love to play. And I truly believe they are helping us to build the new Earth, which will be so much more playful. We're supposed to be here for cosmic entertainment. Things went awry, but I think we're trying to go back to the original creational intention And they are very much a part of it because they are very much a part of our original creator team. So the Pleiadian star seeds, that could be me, Adriana, you, whoever has that in their charts. We love to birth creative projects and get lost in them. Right, Adriana? We were talking about how we get lost in our
Yes. Get
um,
lost in astrology readings.
yes, yes. It's important to move our bodies because we don't feel quite right in this dense, heavy form because we come from such a light, high frequency dimension. It just may feel a little uncomfortable. So the more we move our body, we get more of that integration of our light into our body, and it feels so much better. Um, Pleiadians are highly energetic, vital, and colorful individuals, creatively expressive, loving to talk, and usually talk real fast, lovers of all animals, nature, the environment, and may even be an activist for them. Loves to be the leader of groups, especially when it's involving creative, healthy communities based on spirituality, metaphysics, yoga, Reiki, and even galactic astrology. Um, Pleiadians usually know they are from the stars, and they often remember their fifth dimensional selves. So these are just a few of the traits. And so does this sound like you, or maybe somebody that you do know? So Adriana and I are going to walk you through the 12 signs and how they're affected by the Pleiadian star alignment. So there's 5 stars. There's Electra, Maya, Alcyone, Taygeta, and Pleione. And they are all conjuncting Mars in Gemini on the day of the full moon in Capricorn, which is on July 21st around 6:17 a.m. in Eastern time. What's amazing is we'll have come through a very difficult time. And I think Adriana is going to touch on this in our video of this Mars conjunct with the Taurus conjunct Uranus. But on the 20th, actually, we're going to shift into Gemini. Thank God with the Mars. And it's going to lighten things up a lot more. But there's trines with the sun, the moon, Pluto, even our power of fortune points. You might want to check your points on this one. And sextiles with the ascendant and Neptune. It's a virtual Pleiadian cosmic party. Let's have fun after this kind of dark period we're about to go through. So let me turn it over to you, Adriana, and you inform us on what's going on.
Yeah, just to add to that too, with like what you were saying, Mars coming out of that conjunction with Algol, which I made a video on, and we're heading towards that now at the time of this recording. So, so it'll be this Pleiadian energy that you've described and talked about. It's really bringing in this very healing energy to these very intense energies and emotions. So yeah, we have this Capricorn full moon. Again, it is taking place July 21st at 29 degrees. This is in the higher decan at 29 degrees. So this goes into the realm of spirituality. So you can check your own chart and see where this is affecting you at 29 degrees. So much of the same things that came up in the last full moon in June is coming up again because we have this double full moon, so to speak, because the last full moon in June was also in Capricorn. And once again in July, it's coming back around, and Capricorn rules Saturn, the planet of karma. So I'm picking up on a lot of karmic things that are coming back up again. What do we need to reevaluate, reassess, and release and let this Pleiadian energy um, heal here. So we have the Mars conjunction with the Pleiades, bringing in that divine feminine energy. It's making an aspect called a trine to the full moon. The feminine energy of the Pleiades feels like divine intervention, I put. So yeah, divine intervention coming in to kind of calm the Mars energy as it was previously, like I mentioned, aligned to the very powerful, intense algal energy. So same houses and areas of our life are being affected, like I mentioned before. So what area of your life are you being called to reassess or let go of if you haven't already? So again, this is major times of karmic clearing especially also since Saturn is retrograde as well.
I
And
did.
in addition, with the full moon conjunct Pluto in retrograde. So we got a lot going on there with some karmic clearing happening. I felt called to talk about Pluto retrograde being conjunct to this Capricorn full moon. And actually, I will quickly share what that chart looks like. So yes, we have the full moon here in Capricorn right next to Pluto, which is, like I said, in retrograde. We talked about this in previous videos with it being retrograde, and what that means is going below the surface. I think of Pluto, I think of the underworld going deep, and it's resurfacing things for the full moon to illuminate on. So again, significant karmic clearing is happening. As you can see, Pluto is aligned to the star Aladfar, which is in the Lyra constellation. And it's also conjunct with Altair, which is a fixed star in the Aquila constellation. And what I was getting through as I was looking at this through my intuition, my higher self was just calling me to point this out to those of you I think will really resonate. Both these star systems experience conflict and wars of a spiritual nature that has left a mark on many of us with our soul connections, myself included, and I think to Caitlin too, with Lyra, with these connections here. So now we are seeing the parallels of those experiences in our current reality here, within our personal lives and outwards, externally, in the collective energy, of finding now our own sense of freedom. And that's what I really think of too with Altair and Aquila, is finding that sense of freedom, because these star systems, when we go back through the Akashic records, had experienced these traumatic things and that really impacted our souls, and especially so in Lyra, of course. So now, how do we find our own sense of freedom in this current life that we are living? The full moon brings these issues up from Pluto's underworld. So it resurfaces this and shines a bright light on these things that we have to reassess and reevaluate. So what karmic patterns and behaviors are you ready to release with this full moon? This trine to the Pleiades brings in divine assistance. So the Pleiades is coming in as divine assistance and support in helping with this healing here. Okay. So that is what I wanted to share on that. Actually, I am doing something a little bit different. I'm pulling a past life oracle card this time, which I felt called to use. I use these cards actually in my past life readings. So both in your earth life and way out there cosmic connections. So I use them for both. Let's get a message here on this alignment with the full moon, because I do feel like a lot of past life stuff is coming up here. So again, a lot of us feeling aligned to our soul connections, whether to Pleiades or Lyra, Aquila here. And we can check those things in your chart to see where you have connections. So what is an oracle message based off this full moon here in Capricorn, July 21st? Okay, so I see unrequited love here coming out. And I think what I'm feeling with that unrequited love is coming from those traumas in those past lives. And now the Pleiades energy is bringing in that love, like you spoke about, Caitlin, in your Pleiades Big Love video. It's sending in that love that could not be received at that time in our past. The love was lacking, or it wasn't, it was one-sided, right? It wasn't reciprocated from the other side because of other things with the polarity that we were facing. Now is the time to heal this unrequited love, the love that could not come in. And that comes from forgiveness, which is on the bottom of the deck. Finding forgiveness, forgiving yourself, releasing any guilt maybe that you have tied to that, forgiving what has transpired here and allowing yourself to be free, like this dove that is shown here. spreading your wings. So I think I'm up first then for our horoscopes now. So please check your sun, moon, and rising sign. All three might resonate for you, or maybe just one might resonate. But check them all out and see what feels right for you. So, Aries, starting off with Aries, this full moon is in your 10th house. And this full moon energy is asking you to clear patterns associated with your job or business. Think about what things came up last month between the June full moon to the new moon of last month in June. Has a new opportunity arisen? Have you identified a solution to work patterns that are no longer working out? Let the divine guidance of the Pleiadian energy guide you on the path to your career and business ventures.
For the Pleiadian starseed energies during the Capricorn full moon, this will affect Taurus, suns, risings, and moons with ninth house influence. And ninth house is very much about higher learning. So Taurans, in some ways, you may feel more comfortable than some of the other signs with this Pleiadian star alignment during the full moon in Capricorn, because the Pleiades sits about 28 to 29 degrees in Taurus to about 0 to 1 degree in Gemini. So it'd be helpful to check your charts because this affects all of us, where Taurus would be. You could check your charts for that. Yet you may be most affected by the Mars in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus alignment from July 14th through the 20th. And Mars will thankfully go into Gemini on July 21st for the full moon. And it's going to bring in full light to whatever it is in our lives at that time. So there may be lots of dramas going on in your life. And Pleiadians love drama. But the good news is they love a happy ending. So this full moon may bring you the light necessary to complete. And the completion energies are Capricorn oriented in this full moon. So if you've had a long-term drama, maybe a wonderful resolution is a possibility with the light of this moon. Maybe there's a certain project finally birthing into reality for you, or a relationship resolving. So whatever it is, Taurus, let the Pleiadian energies of feminine lightness of being lift away any stuck energies and really start moving forward in this full moon energy.
Okay, so for Geminis, this full moon is affecting your 8th house. This has been a very deep double full moon for you, Geminis. I think you guys have had it probably maybe the most intense out of all of them. It's bringing in those very intense energies back up again. So what patterns or lessons are coming back for you to release? So if there was something that came up last month's full moon in June, is there something that still needs to be addressed again? The trine to Pleiades brings in a very harmonious healing energy. It's time to release now any thoughts, fears, or anything that no longer serves you into the moonlight and recall back your power, Geminis.
All right, moving on to Cancer. So again, suns, risings, and moons. This will have a 7th house influence on relationships. So Cancer, there's no doubt this may feel like a very challenging time, especially during this full moon in Capricorn. And it's kind of like experiencing two sides of the same coin. And in this case, the coin represents our light and our shadow. The Pleiadian star alignment will be a spotlight on Cancer to see the light, to know your inner truth, and how it is important to ask yourself this question. Am I stepping into my shadow side of people pleasing and feeling the neediness for approval, validation, and acceptance from the outside? So the full moon in Capricorn may cause Cancers to project their shadow outside of themselves and find they are in situations where they are actually judging themselves through others' perceived neediness and expectations. So, eek, this
Mm.
becomes an energetic entanglement. The Pleiadians may help you unwind these entangled patterns and be able to see intuitively both sides of the coin simultaneously to realize there is always, big word, choice, choice of light and shadow in every situation we encounter. This realization we have a choice changes the martyred Cancer Capricorn pattern of I have to do it into I choose to do it, which feels completely different. Maybe even bringing a more playful attitude to whatever you are experiencing, which is light. Remember, it is all light. The shadow is just the absence of light. It ultimately, from an integrated and unity perspective, is all light. Okay.
I love that. I choose. Mm.
Mhm. Yeah. Well,
So
this is
Leo,
affecting us. We have our Cancer
yeah.
ascendant, so it's easy for me to write this one.
Yeah, I was feeling that one with, yeah, our rising signs there. So,
Absolutely.
Leos, this full moon is affecting your sixth house, and it's calling on you to get into a routine if you've been struggling getting back into one since the last full moon in June. Action-oriented Mars, being aligned here, making this aspect to the full moon, helps motivate you um, to the moon. I also feel there is a healing here for those who were dealing with health issues, as a Pleiadian energy is divinely intervening to clear this away, or any other, even if it's not health issues, any other any stuck energy that's in your field. So, your key message, Leos, is release and receive.
All right. So we're going to talk now about Virgos, again, suns, rising, and moons, and your fifth house influence of creativity and play. So, Virgos, you may feel some challenges, and please ask yourself this question. Are you falling into a trap of all work and no play? It's time to listen to the Pleiadians' advice of not taking life too seriously and to lighten up. Where we put our attention becomes our God. Are you allowing your to-do list to rule your life? This is a false God with a little g, a little g. And Virgo, have you been ignoring your desires for romance and having fun with your partner or looking for a partner? So the Pleiadian star alignment with the full moon of Capricorn may encourage you to take a real break and let go of the need to control things you just can't control. So this brings to mind one of my favorite prayers, the Serenity Prayer, and to focus on the part of grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot control. And Virgo, that's everything out here. And the courage to change what I can, this is everything in here. This Pleiadian alignment is kind of coming in to save the day, so to speak, and shine light on what is truly important in our lives, and to remind each one of us that loving yourself, being loved, and being loving are the three most important things on your to-do list.
So Libras, this full moon alignment is affecting your fourth house. So what does home mean to you, Libras? What does family mean to you? This full moon is bringing major shifts to those areas of your life. With the alignment to Mars, things are falling into place as Mars is great for getting things done. And the Pleiades being conjunct to Mars is helping that to happen. Perhaps a new home is on the horizon for some of you, or a healing for you and your family. Now, it's also important to remember, Libras, that sometimes family is beyond blood. Okay. So if there is a karmic, or if there is karmic patterns or attachment to family members, that aren't for your highest good, now is the time to honor yourself by setting boundaries or even letting situations and maybe even people go. Surrender to this full moon and allow healing to come in through the aspect here to the Pleiades. So I would say for your main message here is a healing of what you call home is occurring.
Mhm. Yeah. Scorpio, suns, rising, and moons, your third house influence of communication is up for this moon. Scorpio, you may be experiencing more challenges during the full moon due to Pluto being in your home zone. Important to stay focused on your inner power and truth, which is one of the Pleiadian superpowers. Communicating your true feelings to your partner may be very helpful in resolving past patterns and imbalance. The full moon in Capricorn is about completion and is actually a very blessed opportunity to be done with to be finally done with unhealthy and addictive patterns that may keep coming up and keeping you from evolving on your spiritual journey and living your true purpose. So this Pleiadian star alignment may help you to move dense, heavy, and contracted energies, which have been contained in your energy field for many years. So exercise is a wonderful way to move energy blocks, but also journal prompting and scribble release writing with your less dominant hand to help you move the stuck energy. Also clearing any areas of pain on your body from emotional suppression. That would be just taking your hands and just clearing yourself, moving the energy. Or you could use a feather and just feather yourself to help clear an area. And of course, you could use sage, smudging yourself. So this might be very helpful to bring in for you, Scorpio, more of the eagle energy of high vibrations. Because when we go to the higher level of Scorpio, we rise into that beautiful eagle energy. Okay.
Okay, so Sagittarius, um, this full moon is calling for you to ask these questions. So, well, this particular question, I should say. Have your values been tested the past 2 months, Sagittarius? This could be your internal values or physical, valuable items, perhaps even like financially. Your sense of security, whether emotional, physical, or financial, is being healed with this trine to Mars in the Pleiades to this full moon. So yours is very straightforward, Sagittarius. It is time for you to release all expectations and to now receive.
Mhm. So Capricorn, suns, rising, and moons, this is your first house influence of your physical self. So Capricorn, this may be affecting you the most out of all the signs since it is the second full moon in your sign. So how well did you do bringing in light and finding out what you need to heal and bringing loving attention to it during the last full moon in June? Um, and could it be your physical body, or maybe it's your sense of self, the discovery of who am I? So I personally am experiencing this through my physical body because my sun is in Capricorn at 28 degrees. And at the end of May, a health concern made itself known, and I'm dealing with it right now. So yet again, astrology wows me with its accuracy. So the Pleiadians are definitely here to help you through whatever upcoming health transitions or sense of self-identity are necessary to achieve balance and harmony in your beautiful body. I know that our abilities to release our attachments, Capricorn, are so important right now. So ask yourself this question: what are you attached to? Is it a certain result or outcome? Is there room to step back and surrender to the absolute most highest good? When we release our expectations, we make room for miracles to manifest in our lives. So Capricorn, let the light of this Pleiadian aligned full moon shine bright into any shadows of the past, which no longer serve you in any way at all, and set yourself free to embrace of all of the possibilities abounding in the birth of the new earth.
So now moving on to Aquarius. Aquarius, this full moon calls on you to release your past life karma and allow the healing energy of the Pleiadians and your past soul connections to come in, especially if you have soul connections to the Pleiades, which some of you might. This is in the 12th house, so very much so affecting your ancestry, spirituality, and of course, past lives, as I mentioned. Many of you might also have connections to Lyra and or Aquila with Aquarius. I have Aquarius alignments in my own chart, which aligns to both of these places here. So it'll just depend on based off of your chart here. As this moon is next to the alignment with Pluto, as I showed in the beginning of this video, Pluto is conjunct a star Aladfar in the Lyra constellation and Altair in the Aquila constellation. And just like that Aquarius energy, all about freedom, freedom seeking, it's time to find your sense of freedom, Aquarius, and find solace in this life, releasing any of the past traumas or karma your soul has experienced. This is only dead weight you no longer need to carry around. So toss this dead energy out and allow yourself to feel divinely remotivated by this Mars Pleiadian alignment.
Okay. And we come to you, Pisces. For people with the suns, moons, and risings. And this is affecting 11th house, which is all about community. So Pisces, your community is calling you. Take care to keep your life in balance with self-care, as well as harmonious involvement with others. The Pleiadian star alignment with the full moon in Capricorn may be a completion time for certain collaborative projects. There's also a sextile between Capricorn full moon and spiritual Neptune in Pisces. You may receive more intuitive guidance and communication from our Pleiadian star sisters and star brothers because they are all about building healthy, loving communities. So this is a good time with the light of the moon and Pleiadian star alignment to assess your desires and abilities to confidently lead your community, possibly into a more spiritual direction or a more creative pursuit, which could benefit yourself, but also all involved. So the completion quality of this full moon in Capricorn shines bright for you to then rebirth your ideas, talents, and intuitive gifts into the new earth.
Yeah, it was great to go through all of these and talk about all these wonderful alignments happening here with all these different stars going on. So if you stuck around this long, thanks so much for watching this. Please do like this video and comment down below if any of this resonated for you. You could even come back to this video later on too and kind of follow up with it and see how you're feeling after the full moon. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Caitlin?
Yeah, just that a realization that this time of the year in July always seems to be due to a lot of alignments that are generally in this time. It is karma coming up to the surface to be dealt with. This one's a little more fiery because of this conjunction in Taurus, the double Taurus with Mars and Uranus, but it is always available for us. And it's a wonderful time to take time to heal yourself or to seek out people like myself that do Reiki, others that could help you along your journey, because we're after the solstice, we're heading back into the dark. So I've always noticed for this many, many years that more people are needing assistance between July and winter solstice than
Hmm.
winter solstice to summer solstice. It's just fascinating to me. I've
That is
seen it for
interesting.
7 years. So,
Hmm.
and I feel it's because we're heading towards the dark, and we need somebody to help us kind of cushion us as we are feeling this sense of falling from the light a little bit.
Hmm.
And to me, it's an opportunity to take everything that we shared here and integrate this dark into your light. So by the end of the year, you have gotten stronger. You have learned from it, and you don't keep passing it forward to the next year and then the next year. At some point, we have to work on these things. So I think this is a very powerful, pivotal point for that, for all of us.
Hmm. Yeah, that is, that really resonates with me too, what you said, because yeah, after the solstice, we're going back,
Yeah.
less and less light, right? Unless
Yeah.
you live in the UK like me, then it's always gloomy. I
Well, come
I was
on back to
getting,
the US. We would love you here.
yeah, I was getting all the light that I could when I was visiting the US. It was so great to do this podcast again. As always, please stay tuned for our next one. We're gonna do August like we usually do. We do 2 videos per month. So usually we try to hit the energies, alignments happening the first half of the month. Sometimes it works out that way, and then the second half of the month. So stay tuned for that. And thanks so much for checking this out. My channel is Starry Sky Readings. Do you want to share yours?
Sure. Bhakti, galactic healing.
And thank you so much for being with us today. And we will see you next time.
Namaste.